Yo, what's up YouTubers? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to change a tire on your Audi Q8. So I'll go ahead and spin the camera around, show you how we get this tire changed. Alright, so this customer has a screw in the tire right there that's non-repairable. Anywhere from here outward, or that tread outward is non-repairable. Only in the middle could you repair that with a plug or a patch. So this is going to be a non-repairable flat here. So we'll come around here to the driver's side, open this up, and here in the middle should be a parking brake. Where is it? Okay, so we'll come over here to the driver's side door, we'll open it up, and here in the middle you'll see the P for the parking brake button. Push that, hold it down. I think it comes up here. Let's see, on the dash. I can hear it clicking. I think it's set, not sure. Anyway, okay, come to the back, open up the back. And then we'll lift up the luggage compartment. It looks like we're gonna need to remove all these boxes out of here real quick. So we'll go ahead and move those, set those on the ground. Okay, so now that we've got that cleared out, we'll go ahead and pull this whole entire flooring out of here, right? And it just kind of snaps right there and right there. And then you can just, pull the whole floor up. That's little snappy snaps that hold it in, and then pull the entire floor out, right? Then you've got your spare. Here's your locking lug nut key. This is the key for the locking lug nut that's on the car. I'll show you that here in a minute. Here's your little strap. Just press on this and pull on it. Easier with two hands, but you get the idea. This is an inflatable spare tire, so it has to be inflated. This is your air pump for inflating it. Shows you the instructions here. Probably pump it up to 51 psi, somewhere around that. Back here is your hose. This plugs into your valve stem, screws onto it anyway. And then this is your plug, your power plug, which usually plugs in right here in the back to this little UV port right here, or whatever it's called. Here is your factory specific jack. So see how this has like this cylinder shape here on it? This cylinder shape right here is going to meet up with another shape that's underneath the car. So you'll set it depending on what tire you're changing. I'm changing the back one, so each corner has a provision underneath the car. And you can see it here, right here. So then you just take this jack and go up with it, and then it lands into this part up here, which I'll show you that here in a minute also. Alright, so you got the jack out. Now you're gonna undo this little wing nut here. Get that off. Get that up and out of the way. Get our locking lug nut key. And then also you'll see on here you have decorative lug nut cover caps. These little plastic black caps here. Okay, those are not your lug nuts. Those are actually just decorative caps. And what we're gonna look for in this kit is like a black alligator looking tool. Maybe in here with this stuff. I don't see it. But not to worry. Yeah, I don't see it in this kit anywhere. I think they just gave us this little curly cue to pull it off with. I don't see the black alligator that I'm looking for in this kit, but I've got one of my own, so I'm going to grab that out of my car real quick. Okay, so what I'm looking for in this kit is this little black alligator looking thing, right? Little black thing like that. And what we use this for is to remove the decorative lug nut cover cap, right? It just goes on like that, goes over the head of it, you squeeze it and then pull back. See how that pulls that decorative lug nut cover cap off? You can't. Alright guys, so sorry I got interrupted, but got the black alligator out. That's what gets these decorative lug nut cover caps off, right? It has a little head to it, and like I was trying to say before I got interrupted is, if you don't have this black alligator tool here, it's almost impossible to get these cover caps off without this thing. Like, if you try to use that little metal curly Q thing they got in there in that kit, it'll scratch these wheels up pretty good. So, you know, if you don't have one of these, order them on eBay. They're like $3, $4, something like that. And they're not expensive, but you can't get them at the parts store, you know, that's the hard part. So you can't just run down to the local parts store and get them. They might have them at, you know, an Audi dealership or something, but they're not going to have them at Pep Boys or AutoZone. Alright, so looking at your lug nuts, see how all of them are the same except for one? That's your locking lug nut. That's where you take this guy and you put him on there and kind of turn him and push him in until you feel it seat in correctly. Okay, so now it's in. You can use your tire iron for this or a 17mm socket. I'm going to use a socket and an impact, but you know, if you were using the tire iron, this is your tire iron here. This goes onto your lug nut like so, and then you turn it lefty-loosey like that, and that's how you would take the lug nut off if you were going to do it manually, right? And just keep turning it until you can get it out, right? I'm not going to use that. Like I said, I'll put that back in the kit. This is the extension that goes to the jack here. You know, it fits on like that. And then you would take your tire iron and you would crank that and lift that up. But I'm not going to do that because it's too time consuming. I'm going to get a impact out and use the impact, and I'll show you guys that real quick. Okay guys, so in an effort to get things done faster and get on to my next customers and also show you guys how to get this job accomplished, I'm going to use my Milwaukee drill with a 17 socket on it and do away with the factory stuff. Okay guys, I'm going to set the camera down over here and show you real quick. Well, actually, let me see if I can show you under here what I'm talking about, right? So, take this drill and I'm going to drill this up until it goes into the little provision it's supposed to go into, right? Keeping the base of it flat, right? So here we have that, and of course, if you have to do it by hand, you can do it by hand, but I'm in a hurry, so put this on setting number 3. Oh, also, you definitely want to get your lug nuts loose before you lift it off the ground, just in case it spins or whatever, which this is rear wheel drive, so that's not going to happen, but just in case. Okay, so now we've got the wheel off. You can see how the jack's holding it up. We'll go ahead and get our inflatable spare out and we'll start pumping this up as well. Now, when inflating this spare, it's very important that you leave it flat on the ground. You cannot put it onto the vehicle and then fill it up with air. It won't fill up correctly. So we'll grab our air compressor and start filling. Okay guys, so to inflate this tire, you cannot use a air compressor that is bigger than the factory air compressor, right? If you put the air in too fast, it won't seat correctly. So you have to use something equivalent to the factory stuff. I don't like to use the factory stuff because I like to keep it nice and new and untouched. So that way if the customer wants to trade the car in, they don't have something that looks like it's been used before. These tires inflate to 51 PSI. I'm using a Milwaukee compact inflator from Home Depot. It has preset numbers, so I set it to 51 and I'll turn it on and it'll pump up and stop at 51 PSI, and then I can mount. So we'll go ahead and turn it on, let it start pumping up. This thing will pop out like a bag of popcorn. Alright guys, so like I said, it's important to keep this thing flat on the ground. Why is it important? Because it folds out in a certain way, right? Just like a bag of popcorn. You can't put your bag of popcorn in the microwave any way you want, right? You got to put it in a certain way so it'll inflate the correct way. Same thing with this tire, and you'll watch this thing pop out like a bag of popcorn here in a couple minutes. Pop out here in a minute. It'll go poof. Might knock that air compressor over a little bit, which will be pretty cool. Go ahead and grab our caps, get those put up while we're waiting. Now these will go all over the place, so you want to put them in this little net area back here. Put that down there. We got these two pieces that go back in here. Well, this one goes here, and this one goes back in here. So we'll put those back, set those there, we'll set this in here, and then we'll put our flooring back in. Just like so, and just slide it up there. Oh, I just heard it pop. And then get everything snapped back in. Just take your hand and whack it, and then it goes right back in. And then we'll put her flat here in the back. All right, we got the trunk all packed up. We hit the close button there on the hatch. Close that up. Oh, never mind, I gotta put the air compressor in the back. Forgot all about that. Okay guys, so now that you got the air inflated into the tire, you go ahead and unscrew the air compressor from it. And very important is your valve stem cap, right? This thing is very important. See how it has that little thing at the end of it? That is to unscrew your valve to let the air back out of it when you're done with it, to compress it back in and so on and so forth. So it goes in like that, and it grabs a hold of the valve stem inside of there and unscrews it so you can let the air out. See that? So very important you don't lose that valve stem cap there. I'll go ahead and put that on if I can. There we go. Let's screw that all the way down, and now we can put our tire on. Okay, so with European cars, they've got lug studs instead of lug nuts, so it's not something, a stud sticking out you can mount it to. Instead, it's a stud you got to stick in. So it's kind of tricky to get it to line up, and you want to get it lined up with these holes right here, matching these holes out here. So set it, look at it, and then steer it in there and lift it on that hub, and then you'll have to kind of get down and kind of turn it and push in a little, or you can use the little guide thing that they got in the car for you, which I don't ever use, but I should have maybe used. All right, so there you go. Get it lined up directly, and then hand screw your studs in at least like 5 rotations to make sure you're not cross threading them. And you can feel it if it's cross threading. It'll feel tight right off of the bat when you're threading it, instead of allowing you to thread easily. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put our locking key on there, and then we'll put this Milwaukee on setting number 2, and we'll tighten it up. Using a cross pattern, then go directly across. We can let it down. Now, of course, if you're using the factory tire iron, that's going to take an eternity to do what I just did. Alright guys, so there's a quick video on how to change a tire on your Q8 Audi. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, drop us a comment, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.